in the urban zone where I made the blue rope. Blue rope would be right over there. The camera that is now facing me, that's in this tree, is now facing this little food plot that I'm standing in. I took a bunch of turnips from actually a Tyson's and just threw them down here. Didn't do any fertilizer, anything, and I'd say they grew pretty well. I'm pretty happy with them. It's just a little kill plot here to bring some deer in closer to me. There's another one about 75 yards back over my head there in the field, about the exact same size here. It's about 20 yards by 20 yards maybe. It's pretty interesting, that tree with the camera, and you can see my car back in the background. There's so much volunteer clover that has just taken over in here. There's clover everywhere, which is just adding to this little food plot that's in here now. Going to my car, that big cottonwood is where I usually put the stand. Unfortunately, the camera had some of these big weeds that grew up in front of it. Hadn't been here since the end of July. Had a whole month, and I had 5,000 pictures of nothing. So it's a bummer. That's always what happens when you leave trail cameras in kind of a tight spot. But I know that deer are here. They've definitely been hitting the licking branch there, and it's a bummer. I know that there's a bunch of deer in the area. It's unfortunate that I didn't get any on the trail camera, because obviously trail cameras are fun, but I'm still really happy with that Hawk camera that I purchased. It takes great photos and it's working. It's just, I didn't do a good job clearing stuff out in front of me, but I can see tracks through here. There's little trails walking through the this little food plot here. The season actually starts in 2 weeks for me in the urban hunt, so when I'm back here I may swing in. I can park right here, come into the field, camera's right there, super easy for me to check. So it's a bummer, like I said, but that's kind of how it goes when you're relying on technology. I do know there's a lot of trails, a lot of tracks going through here, so now that the camera is pointed at this food plot, I'm pretty interested to see what's eating all this green food. I'm at the plot that Caleb and his kids hand spread for me. We got a little unlucky with this one. It rained the day that they planted it, so it should have taken off really well. The stuff that grew did do really well, but in the woods it didn't really take off. I mean, you can see that there's plenty of stuff that did grow in here. There's a lot of new green growth. I think what the problem was, a lot of turkeys that came in here right away, and my trail camera that is now right there on this scrape, licking branch, whatever you want to call it, used to be on this corner post. Well, it was completely knocked over. I think some turkeys flew into it, and so I didn't get a whole lot of pictures. It did take some pictures from the ground, which is pretty funny, but they were in here every single day for about 2 or 3 weeks, just pecking at the ground, probably just eating the seeds. I might go and grab some more. I've got some left over that I'll probably just broadcast in here. It's September 2nd today. It's not too late. It's getting there, but there's a lot of clover that came up. What I did do is right here, you can see this scrape licking branch that I've set up. Now, the scrapes in here did get hit pretty well. I've got my blue rope in the timber here that got hit pretty well, and I've got some video of some bucks coming by, and more importantly, does are coming by. There's a good amount of does in here, and that's really what does make me happy, because as I've said before, in the urban area, what you want, especially on my property, are the does, because the bucks, once they start cruising, it's just quick little fingers that lead to other stretches of timber. And where this spot is, it connects every area of the city. And this is the timber one. You can see all this green growth. Those are all turnips that came up. They didn't come up amazingly or super lush or anything, but they are going to serve the purpose of what I need them to, and they'll keep some deer in here, and the does, importantly, because this is a spot where I like to shoot my 3 does, and I've got multiple family groups of does that are coming through here. But what is really impressive, I've done nothing to this scrape. That's completely opened up. This licking branch is the one that my video camera is set up on. And then there's another one right back here behind me. I don't know. It's gonna be a really interesting season. Got one more camera to check, and then that's it. But it's been a rough year for me with cameras.